ECSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app. Good afternoon, sports fans from all around the globe. I am the host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors. And you know, life gets busy. But I've been blessed to have met two of the greatest guys in the world, Mr. Travis Geiger, Mr. Zach Doctor. I'm part of a community called WagerWire, and been blessed now for some time. And we try to bring Travis and Zach on whenever possible, but being as busy they are, it's periodically. So when Travis says he's ready, we jump in and say how high. So we're blessed today to have CXO, Mr. Travis Geiger from WagerWire.
Jeff, always good to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming on. There's so much going on in life, from Hollywood to movies to movie festivals to traveling around the globe for whether it's fantasy, whether it's Stardies. You name it, you guys are a part of it. So it's been a while since you've been here live with ECSI. So give everyone watching a brief tour of what it's been like to be Travis Geiger.
Well, the community's coming up in a big way. We've been around the world promoting this idea that after you place a bet, you should be able to do whatever you want with it, whether it's hedge it, whether it's cash it out, whether it's sell it on our marketplace. We're all about empowering bettors to think of their bets as kind of assets or investments, right? And that even extends to things like survivor pools. It extends to March Madness brackets, buying into your friend's action, being able to sell parts of your action. It's kind of what you've been preaching on ECSI for a long time, investing in sports bets. That's basically what we built our platform and community to do, and we're happy that we're getting a lot of attention for it now.
You had a vision. I know the story like the back of my mind. Yeah, UCLA, came home late. Zach's already got a piece of a game that you wanted action. That's how the vision began, correct?
That's exactly how it began. So he's a sharp bettor. A lot of people in their friend groups, they have a sharp bettor, right? Or you like even settle up on group text sometimes, right? So I came home late making movies. He had a Thursday night football bet. And I just wanted to ride with him. So I Venmo'd him for part of his action. And when it won, he Venmo'd me my winnings. And we were like, why can't this just be Venmoing the bet itself, right? And the rights to the payout. And wouldn't that be fun? And then when you game it out, it's a secondary market. And then when you think about it, why doesn't that exist? So we're on a bit of a crusade to make sure that does exist. And I stopped my, journey that I was on in Hollywood to go do this for a second, because I see it as an opportunity that's once in a generation even. Gambling is just now coming mainstream. It hasn't been subjected to the free market forces of the other industries that we're used to seeing. There's a mature industry in Europe, but this doesn't even exist worldwide. They have, market, like peer-to-peer markets. This is different. This is, this could be your Caesars bet or your FanDuel bet or your whatever bet that we're talking about here. So in light of that, and I want to circle back at the end here, Jeff, to some of our tools that we have. If you go on WagerWire.com, we have a bet calculator. You can see what your bet is worth at any point in time. You can see if you should decide to cash out. Like we advocate cashing out too. Like we're all about just whatever's going to get you the most EV, right? And people want to come buy bets. You can check out our site. We have some interesting ones. You can buy a bet for less than you would have to place it at the window. I mean, a parlay on its last leg is essentially a straight bet, right, Jeff? So you could get a deal on that, immediately hedge it out, be plus EV. So there's things for, new bettors just wanting to get some upside, capture that parlay before it busts, and then sharp bettors that just want to find some hedge equity. And then there's really cool, fun stuff that we do here too. Like we're looking at Oscar odds here, where, the public markets too are interesting to us, prediction markets.
Before we dive into the Oscars, the vision, the years behind the scene, the startup to where you're at today, there's a lot of pivots, there's a lot of forks in life and in a startup business, and I keep emphasizing that word startup. You've been a big part of the startup community. You've been traveling around to these conferences, not just in the States, worldwide. Can you give any people what the startup community is all about and what your voice is all about?
Yeah. So I think in gaming and gambling, it's really interesting that it's a regulated industry, right? And so there's a lot of headwinds when you want to start a new idea, but there's a lot of really smart people doing a lot of really interesting things. And it's not just to give the book more edge, but it's to make the entire experience more fun, more equitable, a healthier industry, right? Like you think about, it's a pretty new industry, 2018 legal, right? It's been in the shadows. And as it comes out, there's no reason that it should still feel like this, icky, backroom thing. It's kind of funny that a lot of the UI of the sports books is still kind of like those chalkboard lines where they would have the, spreads and everything. So I think there's a lot of room for improvement, and in a good way that helps everybody, because it's all about like having fun. I mean, there should be ways to invest, like as a sports bettor, to be a professional sports bettor. But a lot of people, you're just not going to be a professional sports bettor, and you should think about ways to make it entertaining or to make it mean something to you. And whether that's betting based on your horoscope, which we can help people do, or it's getting a good position on a bet and then taking a no market to hedge, or whether that's just betting with your friends, like all riding together. That's kind of what we're here to do, and we're having fun doing it. Like we just came back I was in Malta, meeting with investors and startups. I was running a summit there because I think all collectively we can all improve this thing together, and we're not really in competition with each other. We're in competition with how hard it is to succeed in anything worthwhile. And if we can all help each other, it's a beautiful thing. I think at the end of the day, WagerWire becomes your homepage for all things sports betting. With one password and one login, you can access everything you want, bet on anything you want across all of your accounts. That's something that we patented, and is kind of where we're all headed with this. Eventually, we want to be a platform that people build their own tools to as well. And it's totally fucking radical. Sorry for my French. But speaking of French, let's talk about the Cannes Film Festival, shall we? And how it's going to affect the Oscar race. Okay. So, as friends of the show know, we are big cappers of the Oscars, and it all starts with the Cannes Film Festival. I just want to fast forward real quick. If we look back, Sean Baker won the Palme d'Or and Best Director at 2024 Cannes for Anora. Kind of going into awards season, it was plus 750, and then it absolutely cleaned up. Made a crazy run, Critics' Choice, DGA, Writers Guild, Producers Guild, and of course came in with the Palme d'Or. It ended up winning Best Picture and Best Director. And see, there's a ton of value if you're following this race, right? That's why we look at it really early. You want to try to place some Oscar bets before these different awards start happening in the fall, and definitely before the actual nominations are announced. The real money is to bet on the ones that are going to be nominated. You're going to get an immediate bump. So, but let's look at one that I don't think is actually going to be nominated for an Oscar this year. It's not going to pull like an Anora, but it was a really interesting choice. It was the first time Iran ever won a Palme d'Or for a movie called It Was Just an Accident. And it was 6-1 going into it, which I think Emilia Perez was 5-1 and Anora was 4-1 last year going into that win the Palme d'Or. This director is really interesting. He wasn't allowed to leave Iran for 15 years. He actually ended up going on a hunger strike and made his films in total secret. So he's had a couple films here, but he left the country. It was a big deal, and he ended up winning the Palme d'Or, first one for Iran. But I think a really interesting streak going on here right now is Neon, which is a film distributor, studio basically, and they've now backed 6 in a row Palme d'Or winners, going back to Parasite, Titan, Triangle of Sadness, Anatomy of Fall, and Anora. It's a ridiculous run. No studio, like independent or whatever, has ever done that before. They actually bought the Iranian film at Cannes after it premiered, but before it had won. So it was, that's an interesting the rising, talking about the democratization of things like gambling and innovation there too. Like the people that are actually having the most success in this new era are like the A24s, are the Neons, are these kind of quasi independent outfits that are slowly kind of going to become the new studio system as films are even produced differently. So let's look at, we break it down by nation because it is like an international competition. The USA won in 2024 with Anora. We have 9 total. There's 9 nations with 1 total win, 0 for China, 0 for Russia. We have the most of all time with 14 Palme d'Ors. USA also won the first Palme d'Or in 1955, but Iran now has the most recent one, so it's kind of fun. The current Oscar odds, they're not, those films that did well at Cannes actually aren't charting too much this year, but we can look into why. Paul Thomas Anderson is the favorite. He's the master. Literally, The Master is a film that he did. Punch Drunk Love, Hard Eight, Magnolia, There Will Be Blood, Boogie Nights. He's got his film, one battle after another. It's supposed to be fantastic. Watch the trailer. I don't even spoil anything. And then we got the director of Conclave coming back with The Ballad of a Small Player. And then we kind of fall off. We have Wicked for Good. Also, like the Avatar reboot is trending. So I don't necessarily know what to make of that kind of early indicators there. I won't spend too much time on this. If you subscribe to our newsletter, you guys can get all this kind of intel here. We're going to highlight some directors. She's one of them. This film didn't take home any awards, but I thought it was interesting. This is a director to watch for sure. Joachim Trier, out of he's Norwegian, right? So he won the Grand Prix this year for Sentimental Value. It was one of the favorites to win the Palme d'Or. Actually, it was the favorite to win the Palme d'Or, I think, with another one. But they got swooped. He won it in 2021 for The Worst Person in the World, which also got nominated for International Feature, which lost to the Japanese film, which also premiered at Cannes, and Screenplay, which weirdly lost to Kenneth Branagh of Belfast. I say weirdly because that was like one of those films that was like just caught the right buzz at the right time. It was a personal film. It was more like a legacy Oscar, in my opinion, but I'll take anything away from him. She's hilarious. Here she is, 2025, 2021. So, and yeah, Joachim's got a fangirl following. We looked at the historic Oscar indicators here. And I'm coming almost to the end, but if you guys really want the deep dive, be sure to subscribe to our newsletter. So I feel like Cannes is it is the earliest indicator, but it's also one of the most reliable indicators for Oscar success. I would say the second most reliable one is the Producers Guild Awards. So Palme d'Or winners have amassed 143 Oscar nods and 33 wins since 1955. Films that premiered at Cannes in 2024 earned a total of 21 Oscar nods. So depending on, my strategy is to, let's say you're going to play the public markets on this, you want to get the films before they're nominated, because then it cuts the field down to 5 and there's an automatic bump, right? And then you're going to look at the cadence of the Guild Awards, we call them. It really starts with the Globes, the Hollywood Foreign Press, that sets the pieces. But then crazy things can happen. And then Oscar voting closes and the odds still move. But what's interesting about the momentum that happens after the voting is closed doesn't really affect the outcome. So the idea of the Pope being hospitalized surged Conclave's stuff, but it was after the ballots had already been counted by PricewaterhouseCoopers. Anyway, 3 of the last 4 Palme d'Or winners were nominated for Best Picture, and 2 of them won. At the 2024 Oscars, films that premiered at Venice, which is the next film festival that we're going to be following, were nominated for 17, winning 5. So won 20% of all the Oscars films that premiered at Venice. The Palme Dog, I don't know if we have time to get into this. Jeff, let me pause here. Let me pause on the Palme Dog. What do you think so far of our analysis?
I think it's spot on. This is where I kind of take your analysis here. It's almost like the Kentucky Derby is the first Saturday in May, but actual live odds come out late December and January 50, 75 horses where you can get the early odds on 50 to 1, 75 to 1. Only 20 horses can make the Kentucky Derby. So you're betting, hoping that one of your horses makes it to that Kentucky Derby is one of the 20. So if I get Travis Geiger in January at 100 to 1 and you made it to the Derby, you're going to go off at 20 to 1. You're one of those 20s. And so what you're explaining to me in the movies is exactly the way I look at it at the Circa and when it comes to the Kentucky Derby.
Interesting. I'm glad you drew that analysis. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly right. And the cool reason that I'm so passionate about WagerWire is because that it takes all markets and makes that like a possibility, right? You think about a golf tournament, betting golfers, before the tournament starts, and then as people make the cut, they become in the money, right? And then you can offload your positions.
1,000%. That's what you guys are all about.
That's what we're all about here, and we're also about animals and specifically dogs. And the Palm Dog, which is a real award but not associated with the festival proper, but it's amazing. It went to Panda this year for The Love That Remains. Panda was actually in a movie called Lamb previously, and they did send a lookalike dog to accept the award this year, which I thought was a cop out. Remember Messi last year from Anatomy of a Fall, the blue-eyed dog? Yeah, fit. So this is like, means a lot for dogs here. It's an 8-person special jury. 3 movies with Palm Dog winners have gone on to win the Best Picture Oscar since 2010. That's a nuts stat. Then they have like their other special prizes. So there's Mutt Moment for Best Scene Stealer. And it went to a film that won Un Certain Regard. That movie's called this. I don't want to pronounce it wrong. And then this other Sirat Oliver Blacks. What was the dog's name? 2 dogs. Okay, sorry. I promise I'll follow up on that newsletter readers. This is the first time 2 posters were released, and it was a reverse shot from this film, which I actually haven't seen. Here's the full list of winners, and I'll pause there.
So when does this go, Travis?
We generally release them on Friday, so I'll try to get it out later today, or you'll have it Saturday morning. Plus, you'll have our analysis of the NHL and NBA because we are serious people about sports as well. We can go there next too if you want to look at that, Jeff.
Yeah, we can wrap up with that because I know you got a busy schedule in front of you. If you want to, excuse me, go to your calculator. I don't know if you have it pulled up.
I do. We're going to go to the bet value graph, and everyone at home can feel free to do this too. It's wagerwire.com/graph. Right. Okay. So we got them on Caesar's odds right here. We're looking at the NBA, Jeff. Is there any value on anyone? I mean, let's say you have OKC. How do you even hedge that? Or what are you doing right now?
I know a lot of people with OKCs that again the Knicks did not get eliminated yesterday. They're 4-point underdogs on Saturday. If they in Indiana, if they win, they go back on Monday. Here's an OKC team that is well rested. They're just sitting here and waiting. So the general public thinks right now OKC is going to face the Pacers. Most people think it will be a gentleman's sweep because of the length of this series versus the rest of OKC and just how well they're playing. So if you have any kind of OKC ticket, you're just sitting here and anxiously awaiting who am I playing and when can we start and when can I cash this ticket. So basically at this point, it's a sit and wait game. I know a lot of people have gotten OKC versus whoever in 5 in that gentleman's sweep. Some people have gotten a little trickier in 6, but I haven't heard many people on the Pacers or Knicks side right now, Travis?
Okay. What are you holding? What are you holding? Action wise.
OKC for a while now. We've been holding out on them. We thought they were the clear favorite in the West. When it came to the East, the chalk faded quickly. The Celtics with Tatum got hurt. They lost to the Knicks. The Cavs, with the best record in the East, they bowed out to the Pacers. So here come the Pacers. Here come the Knicks. I have nothing in the East. I'm sitting with an OKC ticket from January or February. They were the co-favorites when we got them at around plus 200. They were battling back and forth with the Celtics, but nothing at this point to shake or scare the market. Unlike the NHL, where we now have two competitors, we have the defending champs, Florida Panthers, and we have the defending Western Conference champs, Edmonton Oilers, in a rematch. I do know the Panthers opened up minus 120, 125. A lot of money coming in the Oilers. I like the Oilers. I like the fact that they got a chip on their shoulder. They lost to the Panthers last year. Here's the funny thing about last year's Stanley Cup, Travis. The Panthers won the Stanley Cup, yet Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers, who lost, Connor McDavid won the Conn Smythe. So anyone watching and listening today, if you like the Panthers, you better run to the window and get a Conn Smythe ticket on Connor McDavid, just in case. But I like the Oilers, and I like Connor McDavid to win the Conn Smythe here in the Stanley Cup.
Where do you place your bets at, Jeff?
Oh, well, I'm in Massachusetts. We're a DraftKings state. There's a bunch of other apps here as well. The Encore is live in Boston. FanDuel. There's a handful of states that we can pick and choose from. So, but being in Boston, I'm about 45 minutes from headquarters at DraftKings here. So we technically, like Massachusetts is a Democratic state. Well, Massachusetts is also a DraftKings state.
Is that so? I well, I think
Just like Dunkin' Donuts. How's that sound?
I think Caesars has the best odds, no, on the Panthers.
Absolutely. And I love and respect Caesars. I do. I love everything they're doing. They got a great sports book. I love their commercials. I love their marketing. Jamie Foxx. I mean, they do wonders.
You do not. Do you really? You genuinely like the marketing? I do. But I think Jamie Foxx
Well, it's kind of comical in
could
this
use a
regard.
friend.
Well, that's my whole point. Give it to the guys in the trenches here, the guys that have been here for 50 years, the guys that have been doing this for a long, long time before it was legalized back in 2015.
I want to see Jamie Foxx. I want to see Jamie Foxx in a skybox with betters, like getting DGen and kicking back Budweisers or something. I would watch that. I would watch a live stream of that, and you get to send them to the game. But I'm not here to give advice. I'm just a marketer of the year according to a couple industry publications. So.
You are market of the year. I know you have a call coming up. Tell everyone where they can get the to sign up for your email. You do an amazing job weekly on your emails, of course. Download the app, all the goodies, Travis.
Yeah. Okay. So on the App Store, search WagerWire, one word. This is wagerwire.com/graph that we're looking at here. We're, working towards an integrated solution for this bet sell idea. But right now we're here to help you out with whatever bets you got. If you want to decide if you should cash them out, if you want to decide how to hedge it, right? And then if it's a great bet, we can help you post it for sale on our marketplace. We can come on shows and talk about it. Like we flew out Calvin, who had the crazy Ohio State bet to the Rose Bowl with us. That was really fun. See us on. We have a bet that's for sale right now that BR is talking about that ends with the Oilers. It's really and the Thunder. That's a really interesting bet that's for sale on WagerWire. That's like, I think it could win 400 or something. So check us out. I think what we're building is the future. We really respect and like all of our book partners. Like if you want to help, if you want to sign up for somebody like a Caesars, we'll help you. We'll even help you figure out like what your betting strategy might be. How to manage your risk, your bankroll, all that kind of good stuff. Um, like we're kind of here to build this community of bettors that treat bets more like less like a roll of the dice, more like something that they're invested in. Whether it's on their teams or sometimes people bet against their teams, or sometimes people bet just because it's somebody's birthday. Maybe it's theirs or a player's, but we're here for all of it. We think betting in America is just getting started. We got a growing community. Follow us on Twitter. You can also watch our stuff on YouTube, Instagram. I don't know. We're just learning socials really as we go, but all we know is we got an incredible group of people around us, and like the buzz is hard to ignore. And so we just want to keep our ear to the ground and listen to everybody. So if anyone has comments or ideas on how we can improve, check out the app, check out our sites, check out our tools, hit us on DM at WagerWire. We'd love to hear from you.
Shout out to Amber Holly. She says, great show, Jeff and Travis. It's so good to have Travis back. We will be getting Travis, Zach, and the whole crew more regularly. I know Bet Bash in the middle of August. You guys will be out to Las Vegas. Assume signing up for Circa Survivor, who is now $15 million this year. If and when you do sign up, I promise you this: the Cincinnati Bengals is not offered to you. You only have 29 teams to choose from. You are not allowed to go with the Cincinnati Bengals. How's that sound?
Yeah, the Bengals have broke our heart. Last two survivors in a row. It's kind of
They,
ridiculous.
you had a great run 2 years ago, and then right off the shoot, they come out and they lose to the Patriots. I think 33% of the 10 or 11,000 that were part of them are lost there. And the beauty of the bet calculator, people, is this: is when you have a ticket and you have an actual cash out value, you're getting about 60 cents on the dollar. If you go to wagerwire.com/calculator, you can plug in that ticket and see what the actual true value is. And then you can reach out to Travis, Zach, and the community and say, hey, I don't want to cash out for this when it's worth this. What can I do next? Correct?
Yeah, or decide to cash out. I mean, what we want to do is just help people feel like they can make a decision. Like a lot of the times when you're cashing out, you don't know if you should feel good about it or not. So oftentimes, like you're saying, people are getting totally smoked on it, right? But then sometimes the book gives you a pretty fair shake, like 90 cents on the dollar or something like that, compared to like what you could place it at the window. But that's exactly why these deals on WagerWire exist, because like the person selling it is trying to get a little bit better than cash out, and maybe they end up cashing out anyway. But while it's for sale, that person who's coming to buy it, they're getting a deal on it, right? They're getting it better than they could get it at the window. And what we want to do is turn that into a sports book sign up, because this is all better for the users if we can all do it with our balances in our sports books, right, between each other. It's actually going to keep people on their sports books longer. So that's how we talk to them. But like really what it's for is just to create this experience that should exist, where people have control out of their bets after they place it, and they're going to spend more time with the books that treat them right. If that's the case. I feel like a number at a lot of these books, and then like people feel like they win and they start getting limited. Like it feels really screwed up. So that's not what the books want to do. I know, like they're great, smart people that work there, but they're not coming off the right way to the public because of how they've been treating people in pretty high profile situations sometimes.
Well, again, as you said, we're just at the tip, the start. The onion blossom is blooming. Everyone that's just joining us for the first time, make sure you go follow WagerWire on X. Join the community. So many great people there. Head on over to wagerwire.com. Download the app. It's free. I say that 25 times a day, guys. Check out the calculator. Check out all the graphics. See where your bet is when it was placed. See where the market's moving. I know it's entertainment for a lot of people, guys, but here what we're trying to do is to still have entertainment, but turn sports into investing. That's our bottom line here. Travis, it's great as always. We gave a shout out to Amber. Thank you so much as always. Go follow Travis at WagerWire CXO. Make sure you're following Zach Doctor at WagerWire CEO. And of course, you're following WagerWire. In about less than 1 hour, Scotty Webb back for the MLB Friday Night Lights. Everyone have a blessed afternoon, and we'll see you soon.